welcome back to another Prismatics video. Today we are going to be doing a TDS tower tier list. This tier list is by the tier maker. Like the tier maker is like the website where I got it from. All these towers in TDS, and yeah. So today we're going to be rating them from OP, great, okay, bad, and terrible. Now, before this video starts, I would just like you guys to maybe subscribe to the channel and like this video. That would help a lot. Yeah, but anyways, let's get into this, shall we? To start off, we got the Ace Pilots. I think this is an okay tower. Now, late game, it becomes, but at the start, it's a pretty good tower. It's just, there's no other reason to be using this for a late game unless it's like Frost Invasion. Because it's just there's no other reason. Alright, there just isn't, I'm sorry. Next, we got the Medic. Okay, this might be controversial. I don't think Medic's good. By that I mean, like, all the noobs are gonna dislike this video, but stop, please. Stop spamming Medic. It is useless because if you take damage, you are alive. It doesn't affect how much money you gain or lose. Medic also doesn't overheal your base, and the unstunning ability doesn't work. You're not using it because the DPS is not good. You're mainly using it for its ability, which doesn't even work anymore. So, it's just not a good tower. Next, we got the Commander. I think this is a great tower. The reason being is because, well, you know, it's kind of OP. What I mean is because I used to use Commander a lot. It was in my loadout. It's not OP to deserve that much of the rank, but it's a great tower. It helps a lot with the DPS, and it's just really great. Next, we got the Shotgunner. This is a great tower as well. For the cost, not much people know how good this tower is compared to other towers. The DPS is insanely good, and I used it before I got the Golden Scout and Golden Mini to solo maps because I didn't know that mill base was a thing, and we'll move on to that later. But yeah, overall, this is a really good tower, and I definitely would recommend the purchase of the $2,000. So next we got the Minigunner Tower. This tower is mostly used by people between the ranks of 100 and, yeah, just 100 and below. Mostly use this tower. And that is why I'm going to be putting it a great. For the DPS, which is 60, I think it's a pretty good, solid tower because it's not a bad payment, and it detects hiddens very early on for the cost. It's 1,000, and by the time you've probably got, like one minigunner, you probably have $1,000 in your wallet. So I'm just gonna put that as a great, as you know, some of you watching this video may use it. So that is why I'm just gonna put it up there. Rocketeer. Bad. The DPS is literally less than Paintballer, and it costs way more. And, you know, we're going to move on to that later, the Paintballer. For the cost, I do not think this is a good tower, and just don't use it, please. For the love of God, don't use it. Next, we have the Mill Base. This tower is a great. It's where the Shotgunner is. It's just, it might be way, it's just better, but it's not, it doesn't deserve the OP rank, is what I mean. This is a great tower for the cost. The damage is pretty good, but like when it hits, it's 400 with a tank, and then when you're shooting, it's just good. It's a good tower. I definitely recommend the purchase. Before I got Gold Scout, I was using it every single time. And yeah, it's just a good tower. It just is. I'm just gonna say it. It just is a good tower. That's it. That's done. So yeah, there's mill base done. Now we have the DJ. The DJ is actually an OP. The reason being the range, when you combine that with the Ranger or any other form of tower like the Shotgunner or the Gladiator, but it doesn't work on the Gladiator or like melee towers, but the Shotgunner, it's just, oh my It's just OP. It's like deserves this rank. All right, next we got the Electroshocker. It's in between bad and terrible. It is worse than Rocketeer. Nobody's using it for the damage. They're all using it for the ability. And the ability, like, at least is better than Freezer. All I'm gonna say is the ability, it's worth it. But for the money it costs, I don't want to buy it, actually. Like, the ability is worth it if you're like, if you want the ability is not. By that, I mean the ability is not $3,000 worth. The ability is more $900, which is the Freezer. But it's just worth using the tower for like fast enemies, because it's good for fast enemies. That's the only reason. But that's the only reason I'm putting it bad, because it's just not. It's a very underrated tower, and it deserves to stay that way. Ranger OP for the damage, 300 and something. What? Sure, it costs a lot, but by then you're gonna have like 50 other Rangers. You can literally win Fallen. I don't think we gotta talk no more about the Ranger. Come on, it's like, this is the best, one of the best towers. Accelerator OP. Literally the DPS is 220. Like, what? It has the most DPS in the game for what it like, and. Like, sure, it takes a while to grind for, but by level, like, 80, you'll be there. Yeah. And I'm saying that. By level 80, you'll be there. And that's why I'm going to put it at OP. I always have this in my loadout. Never have I ever. Same with the Ranger. Sometimes with a DJ. Crook Boss. Okay. I mean, by level 30, you're going to be using it a lot until you get to the turret. So, yeah. I don't see this. It's very underrated, and I used to use this all the time until I figured out that minigunner was better. But it's a pretty good tower, actually. It's just okay. It's not. The DPS is, It's like what you would expect from a level 30 tower. Next, we have the turret tower. This tower is used by people who have infinite money. And it's great, actually, because for the cost, it is a lot, but it is worth it as, well, come on, that range and that damage, combined with the commander and the DJ, you have won. Like, there's no question. That it's a move, sorry, I kicked my trash can, but there is no way that you will beat the Frost Mage event without turret. I'm sorry, saying it, no way. I'd like to see someone try, and if they do, I'm gonna be surprised. But yeah, just it's a good tower for the cost. Like, to place it down, that's kind of crazy, but yeah. Oh ho ho. It's actually bad. I don't think that this tower is good. You're using it for the cliff space. You're using a cliff space from the Ranger or the Mortar. The Mortar is still better than that. And it is just bad. It takes like 5 seconds to reload. It only does 30 damage. The Frost Blaster is better than that. But most people don't have the Frost Blaster, but it's still better. And yeah, I kicked my trash can again. Because I'm just mad. Why would you be using this tower? I was about to put it at a terrible, but I don't know. It's free, so I get why that would be true. But like, jeez, Scout is better. Scout is better. Oh my gosh. Pyro. Oh my gosh, the two worst towers in the game. Pyro is terrible. It speeds up the bosses, and it barely does any damage. The only reason you're using it is for frost invasion. There's no other way. If someone buys this for the legitimacy, I can't even speak today. To like place the tower, I don't think that they're gonna use it next game. I don't think so. And that's just, I'm sorry, it's just simple. It's just, this is not a good tower. It just isn't, sorry. Next we got the Freezer. Ooh. Terrible. It is 800 cash. The freezing ability is trash. It does 0 damage. At max, it only does like 2 damage. Why would you be using this? Why? There's no reason to be doing this. I don't think any noob, even like noobs, if they looked at like the thing, they'd think that they'd still say, yeah, that's not good. That is not good. But like, jeez, this is the old freezer was like 100 million times better. And then below came and he's like, bye. But yeah, it's not a good tower. Next we got farm, OP. There's done. It's just, we don't even need to explain it. It's oh my gosh. The cost is like 250 and then it gives you like infinite money basically. There's one catch to it though. Doesn't work in advance. Does that matter? No, which is why I'm still putting it as an OP because come on. Do we really need to talk about farm? It's one of the best towers in TDS. Paintballer. It's better than all of these. The reason being, it holds up a really strong fight in Fallen, Molten, Normal, and Hardcore at the starting waves, which is why I think it is a okay tower. Middle and late waves, trash, which is why I'm not putting it at great. But yeah, so all these are like good for all times in the waves, everything above okay. Maybe I should move Quick Boss up to great, but I think it's just because Quick Boss is really good at the mid wave too. Dimmerman, great. It worked. It literally, if at max stage, it can demolish. Also for the cost in the shop, it's 350 coins to buy. It's so worth the cost. It's literally good on Molten until the Molten Boss comes. You're set. The reason being, the explosion can kill like other enemies spawning. It's just a really good tower, and there's John Roblox videos to do it, but like they don't really explain it into detail why. It's just on Fallen, it just mainly is great if you're doing that on Molten, but if not, then it's just an okay tower. Mortar! Okay, it's level 75. I would expect more from this tower, honestly, but it holds up a pretty good fight on all the game modes except Hardcore, because that's impossible to use like Mortar on that, because like, come on, you wouldn't bring that tower to Yoda. But apart from that, it's a pretty good tower, but it's not great. It's just okay. Yeah. Scout! Okay. It's free. It does 10 damage, 10 DPS at max. And yeah, it's worth the cost because it's free. It's better than all these towers, but it's probably the worst one on the okay list. You're good spamming maxed out scouts, and if you are spamming maxed out scouts, spam it at the back, please, because let the pros handle the front. Don't worry. And combine that with Commander. It's a pretty solid great if you combine it with Commander actually, because it shoots very fast. Militant. Bad. It's not terrible because it does quite a bit of DPS. The only reason why I'm saying it's a bad is just because 2,000. You could buy like mill base, you could buy shotgunner, you could buy. It's just, yeah, ace pilot. It's just not a good. It's not worth it. Honestly, I don't like that tower at all. The reason being, it's just, the reload. It's just not worth it, man. Why would you buy the tower? I'm having a mental breakdown. But yeah, it's just not worth it. Come on, nobody likes this tower. Until someone likes this tower. But currently, this tower is at one of the worst. Yeah, it's just not a good tower. Come on. Next, we have the Pursuit. It's It's actually a great. Come on, it does like 125 damage per second, or 120 or something like that. It's worth 100. Like it does almost the same amount of golden minigunner, or maybe the same amount. It is worth it. Because by then you'll probably have a golden tower by level 100, which is why I'm saying that it's worth it. Because if you didn't unbox golden mini, well, there you go, pursuit. The only reason I'm putting it at great instead of OP is because, well, first off, I'm not like it's pretty expensive, so I'm just putting it there. Cowboy, okay. It takes a while to do Badlands Fallen, and the tower itself is pretty much useless. Like, the only reason I would see... Actually, bad. The tower itself is pretty much useless because farm is just a better alternative, and you're not really using it for the DPS, you're using it for the money collector. But there is the golden variant of this, which is... We'll get onto that later. But it's just a bad tower. The only reason... like. If you have, like, a paintballer loadout, like a pretty new loadout, then yeah, Cowboy would be a great addition to your collection. But apart from that, no, it's just not good. I'm sorry. Like, I get it because of the golden Cowboy, and that's it. But apart from that, no, just don't get it, please. Gladiator, OP. You placed 2 at the start. It is insanely OP for any game mode apart from events. I'm going to say that there, apart from events, and it is just an amazing tower. I definitely recommend this tower if you guys have it. Very unlikely that you guys do because it's an OG tower, but you might have bought it during the Game Pass. One of my friends, We Like to Dance, shout out to him in the description. Actually, I might forget, alright? If I did forget, just remind me to shout him out. I'll change the description. But basically... This is just an amazing tower. My friend We Like to Dance actually does have this tower. I've seen it in action. It's OP. Oh, Commando. This is an okay tower. For the cost to place it, I don't know if it's really worth it, but one of my other friends has it too. From what I'm looking, it's okay. It's kind of hard to describe this tower. It's not the best, but not the worst, you know? So yeah. Slasher, bad. It got heavily nerfed, but it used to be a really good tower. Now it is just... It's one of my favorite towers still, but it's not worth it, man. It just isn't. Same with Commando, but Commando's just still a bit better. Golden Mini, great! The only reason I'm putting it great is because it holds up well. Fallen, Molten, any game mode. It's really OP at max level, 120 DPS. It is definitely worth it. Is it worth $50K? I'm not sure, but it's worth the placement cost. And yeah, but it's still. I don't know if it's worth. It might be worth 50,000. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Frost Blaster. Okay, this tower kind of got nerfed. But it does 30 DPS, and the freezing ability is gone, as we all know. It's just the better alternative as Freezer. As we all know, the Sniper does 30 damage. This thing does 30 damage at the max as well, same with Sniper. But this thing doesn't take like a million days to reload. So yeah, we're just putting that at okay, and maybe great. It's in between these two, but it doesn't deserve great. Beekeeper, what is it called? Swarmer? B-Guy. I'll just call it B-Guy. My alt account has this because, you know, I did the egg hunt and then I saw, like, another thing and I thought that was, like, the egg hunt. But my main doesn't have this because my main was banned for 3 days back then. So I couldn't do the egg hunt TDS. But my alt account has it. It's not worth it to place down, man. Like, I would expect something better for the tower being like an event tower. It's not really that good, but it's a solid. The ability though is actually pretty solid. Now we got the Hunter. It is great. It is insanely OP for solos, and all in all, it's just a good tower. I'm going to say this might be it's just a really good tower. Wiki Colors had a concert video where he used this in the background. He actually I think he might have won Fallen, with these towers. And yeah. Also, it's free. It's a free tower. Like back then it was. And come on, free for this? That's OP. Archer, this is a bad tower. It got heavily nerfed. It used to be insanely OP for solos. Now it's kind of just sitting in the realm of nerfing. It just isn't good, honestly. Just really isn't good. I don't think it's good at all. Sentry! I've never used this tower, but from the very detailed scenes that I've seen of this tower, OP. Let me explain. It is basically the turret, a bit less DPS and a bit less range, but it's 750 cash. You would expect that from a tower that you place with 750 cash. That is 10 times better than the turret. The reason being is because it's so much cheaper to the upgrades, the tower placement. It just is. I do miss this tower, and I wish I could try it out, but it's just not possible for me to try it out anymore. And I'm just kind of sad because of that. I heard there is the engineer tower coming out, and I've seen stuff of it, like screenshots of how the tower looks. I don't think it's going to live up to the Sentry, but apparently it places sentries. So maybe it's actually better than the Sentry. And I hope it is. But yeah, I hope it costs $750 to place it down. That would make sense. Mecha Base. From what I've seen, this tower is OP. The reason being, you place it down. Actually, you place it down and, it kind of just slowly just demolishes everything. It's basically, think of it as the better version of Mill Base, and then you'd understand why I put it up here. And yeah. Next we have Soldier. It is a bad. The reason being is because for the cost, Demo Man is better. And Paintballer. It's just, the only reason I would see people's doing this is because Commander, or they're just new and they, Soldier looks pretty intimidating, but it's just not that good, I'm just gonna say it's not that good. War Machine. OP. It does 40,000 damage to, at max. So, I don't, bro, that insta-kills Gravedigger if, all of them get into the range. It also gives a damage buff. So, there's that, too. And yeah, altogether, it's OP Tower. It's just the final expensive towers, should we say. Golden Cowboy. Good. It's great. It is insanely OP if you're soloing Fallen, and I would definitely recommend this tower if you already have Cowboy. If you get this, instantly put it in your loadout, because now you can solo Fallen, so that's pretty cool. Unlike the Golden Scout, it's kind of harder to solo Fallen, but with the Golden Scout than the Golden Cowboy, which is why I'm putting it up there. But Golden Scout is it's really good, and we'll get onto that later. Golden Crook Boss, okay. It is not worth the $50,000 that you spend on the crate. If you get one, I'm sorry. I feel very sorry for you. But hey, think of it this way. At least you didn't get Golden Soldier. Come on. Or Golden Pyro. Speaking of Golden Pyro, this is bad. The only thing it increases is the range, which is already, you don't need that because it's just not good. It's basically, you're not spending money on this and saying, yeah, I think this is a really good investment. $50,000 for a trash tower, and make it just a bit better. Not even that good. It's still very bad. It's still, Rocketeer is better than the golden version of this, and Scout is 100 times better than the golden version of this, and that is what makes me mad. That is just what makes me mad. Okay. we got the Golden Scout. This is an OP. It does very well on all game modes, apart from events, for soloing, and it's just a good tower. Come on. Oh, Golden Soldier. No, it is not worth the $50,000 that you spend, but it's better than, like, I would use it only if I don't have Golden Scout or Golden Cowboy to solo stuff with, but apart from that, I would probably not use it then. And if that was like my first Golden Tower, then maybe I would use it, but I kind of am doubting, because it's okay, I'd say, maybe, but it's kind of below. Actually, yeah, it's okay, but Golden Quick Box is still better. 2 Event Towers! Toxic Gunner, it is a great tower. It is insanely good for soloing. You can get a really good solo with it. Yeah, it's just good. It's just a good solo. And there's no reason why you wouldn't use this if you already have it. And that's alright, I'm just saying it. Sledger, let's put that in an OP. Come on. I just feel like Sledger's an OP tower. The reason being is because it freezes. Like, Toxic Gunner would be an OP, and Sledger would be great if Sledger didn't get buffed and Toxic Gunner didn't get nerfed. But it freezes, it does a ton of damage with Commander ability. One of the best towers in the game. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Peace out. See you next time. Goodbye.